everyone, I'm Allison, and welcome to my weekly Meltdowns coverage of Big Brother 25. What's going on, guys?
Listen, I might have to give out my stand card to somebody new after this week and after these nominations, but we'll get into it all.
Cam, I'm going to hurt you.
He's king right now. He deserves it. I'm right there with you, Tyler.
Listen, it's this week is iconic Big Brother. Like it is.
I can appreciate the move.
Yes,
I can appreciate the move. I can't stand him.
I'll be rooting for him to like walk out the door next week. Like I'll be like, bye, you made your impact. But what an impact Cameron has had this week. We'll get into it all, but I just have to say up front, like this is what I love about Big Brother so much is like the power shifts can just be like so juicy, so good, and like we needed it so bad this season, and we got it. And I can't wait to talk about it all.
You know who's not shocked?
Allison?
Me.
That's true. Okay. Yes. Like before we get into it as well, we need to give ourselves like some roses here because on Thursday's recap, everybody was like, no way is Cameron going to do that. He's going to nominate Jared and Blue and play it safe. Like, no way would he play it bold. And we went through so many scenarios of like combinations of Cirie, Izzy, and Felicia on the block. And we said on this show, we think he's bold enough to do it. And Allison, like you posted that clip on Twitter of you just being like, listen, he gives no shits anymore. Like he has like nothing to lose. He's done with these people.
He's got Bowie. That's who voted with him. Okay.
Yeah, Bowie showed up in this last episode too. So.
Yeah.
Well, I think too that this week is showing everybody who's not really in with Cirie where they stand, and that's exactly what we needed in this house. And it's less about even just like, oh my gosh, somebody from the majority alliance is going home, and it's more about, oh my gosh, Corey is waking up to his position in the house. America has gotten all the clues together. You're going to hear me say it now, even Jag is not running his mouth as much. So and I'm going to be a full disclosure. I already said this in the chat to these three, but to those watching at home, I'm also behind. So this is much of a learning experience for me and what I've been gleaning from Twitter. So you might need to correct me if I'm going rogue or going wrong.
Oh, you're fine. I have well, first of all, hello to the people in the chat. Eddie James, Cassie Lee, Kylan Pierre, Joseph Boza. Welcome, everyone. This is week 6, live feed updates, everything that's been going on since last Thursday, Sunday night show, everything. Cameron won HOH and told everyone he was going to nominate Blue and Jag and turned around and nominated Izzy and Felicia. Jared.
And can I just say, like, even us feasters were like shooketh. Like, we
everyone
had no
was shook.
idea because like we don't get to see diary rooms in the moment, so all we see is like Cameron up in the HOH room being like, "So I'm putting up Jag and Blue, and you guys are safe. You're good." And we were so snowed when the feeds came back on, and Felicia and Izzy were the only ones with pie nut on their face, and the ones nominated for it.
I love that Felicia took out her teeth, and Izzy took the glasses off, just assuming during the nomination ceremony that they were getting pied in the face.
They were certain. They were like
so certain. It was like glasses, teeth. And then Felicia puts the teeth back in, and Izzy held on to the last. She didn't even put the glasses back. Like she was holding out, like I'm in denial. I don't know. I think.
Well, no. She didn't have her glass on. She couldn't see that she was nominated.
She
couldn't see it.
What?
I can't see. Is he made all the pies gone?
We got Izzy Fields and Felicia Washington up on the on the block.
You know, a lot of people are. Well, we know Jared won veto, and we'll get to that. And he's not using it. We'll get to that. A lot of exciting things, but a lot of people are kind of pissed off with the way Cameron went about doing it. But you have to look, if you watch the episode, he didn't know that was going to happen. He was in the middle of his speech and they said, oh, the and he's like, cool. And he had, God been
that
there.
was my exact reaction. I was so mad that like we were about to get this like blindside like nominations. I was ready. I was seated with my seatbelt on, ready to go. And then they just like cut the tension by like bringing out these stupid pies, and I'm like, come on.
You know what though? It's going to be great because I think we're going to be able to have a whole Big Brother gift collection that's pie related. So you can have Polly Calafiore with his little flag and apron over the American Pie thing that he had to do, and then where he's all sad. And now we can have Felicia taking off her teeth, putting them back in. Yeah, it's a great time.
I would have nudged. Is it you gonna put your glasses back on? Because I'm gonna tell you right now.
Can you do
put my teeth back in? You better put them glasses on, bitch.
Allison, I need you in the house so bad for moments like that. Moments where the editors are like, we're gonna have to do that again because Allison was talking during the HOH speech.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
She'd be like, we know what the speech is. We do it every week.
Is this necessary? Can you just turn the freaking keys?
And tell me you're nominated.
Why can't we do the round thing with all the keys? Why can't we do that and thank the HO? Thank you, Cam. Thank you for saying. Thank you. Whatever. I'm a little. I think it's funny. A lot of people are pissed off at Cameron how he indulged. Bitch, I would have too.
He milked it. Yeah. Yes, that's
I
what
would have
supposed to do. That's why he's on the show.
I would have milked that like a fertile cow.
Yes.
That teat would be dry.
Oh boy.
I'd milk it.
But no, like as much as I don't like Cameron as a person, and like deservedly so, he ate those noms so well. Like he did so good.
Right now.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm trying to be Gen Z. I'm trying to be like one of the cool kids, right? Like
you're trying to be a cool gay. I get it.
Yeah. But no, those noms were iconic.
Tyler's like the least likely gay to be like, she ate.
But that's how strongly I feel that like
Cameron
did it. Like he did the thing. Like he like recognized like, and like we saw diary rooms of him like in this last episode, which I loved this last episode by the way. Which I'm going off on a tangent now, but like he like, in the diary room he was like, I recognize that Cirie is the kingpin here, and we need to take out like all of her little soldiers first before we can get to the king. And like what a read, right? Like I'm so glad that like he didn't let like Cirie and Izzy and Felicia, they did so much like gaslighting in this episode, like to Bowie Jane specifically, and then to Cameron after. And I know,
poor
like
fucking Bowie Jane.
I felt bad for Bowie Jane. I was like, I don't know who you are, but I feel bad for you.
I gotta say this. There was so much shit. Like Felicia asking Red if he was going to take that cupcake home.
That whole like 15-minute exchange. I'm like, Felicia, could you have made yourself a bigger target by being a little bit of a jerk?
And then they tell Bowie, well, we didn't tell you that the vote because we're going to plant you as a spy in the camera. First of all,
but we wanted to wait until after instead of telling you ahead of time to see if you'd really be loyal
and
to what you're saying you're going to do.
Exactly. First of all, if you're going to lie quickly, and two, make it believable. I would have been like, busted. Bye, bitches. You all busted, bitches. Because I'm going to tell you why. I know you're lying to me right now. You didn't include me. The alliance is shit. You left me hanging with Cameron. Thank you.
When Bowie mentioned it, I was like, it's almost like she feels insulted that she was left with Cameron.
As she should be.
Yeah, right.
Honestly.
And there was no reason for it either, right? Like there was no reason for them to leave Bowie Jane out of the vote. Like they really ostracized her for.
Here's the thing:
they forgot she was there.
They do think that she was closer with Red and Cam. Last week, I mean, they did think than they thought that she was with them. But part of that is we got to go back to what the main both amazing part of like the main frame of this season is, but also the issue, which is that you got Cirie and her closest allies are phenomenal game players for the most part, who are assuming the other side is on their level, and then therefore well, they wouldn't be dumb, so they wouldn't do that. So therefore we got to counteract what they're clearly doing. But the fact is they are that dumb, and they weren't doing what you thought they were going to do, which was the smart thing. So you're just overplaying now. So that's the main frame of the season, right? So they convinced themselves that Bowie is more, it was closer to Red and DeCam. But the other thing is they flat out find her annoying. They are like mean girls at school about her.
Yeah.
And can be really rude to her.
Yeah.
And I will say this too. Bowie continues to just dig a hole about her age, and they all have clocked she's clearly not in her 30s. And so they're like, well, if she can lie about that, and they don't think she's a DJ, even though she is, they're like, and like, they're just, every time I turn on the feeds, it's her like being like, well, in Australia, that's not the law. And I'm like, you're trying to hide that you're not a lawyer? Like, really? And you're like, well, I think, you wouldn't sue the town. You'd sue blah, blah, blah. In Australia. I'm like, what are you doing? Stop.
Yeah.
But Bowie, I think, is going to wake up this, if she's not already, I think, like, if we got a Bowie HOH next week.
We need a woke Bowie.
I think she's awakened. I think she's there.
And that's what I'm saying. Like the threat of waking Bowie up is not good for Cirie and Izzy, especially like now that Felicia is walking out the door this week.
Correct.
It's like the grasp that they're having on like everybody is like slowly slipping away, and I think it all stemmed back to, unfortunately, choosing to evict Hisam instead of Cameron. If they did that, they would not be in this mess whatsoever. Like, yes, Hisam was an obnoxious ally, but he was fighting for them, and he was winning comps that Cameron has won.
Right.
I will say, as Eddie James has said in the chat, which is legitimately true, Cirie keeps getting rid of her own people, and I think Hisam would have done the same. So I don't know if they would have been in any better position with Hisam. I think that they would have been like so paranoid about Hisam, they would have just been more infighting earlier within that specific alliance.
I agree with you, Beth. I think so. I think Cirie has, from day one, has been on this perch of like, if they pose a threat, pow, 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 you got to go right away.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't pose a threat and they will sit back and let her have as much influence as she will have, then you can stay. You can become one of my court, if you will. But
right.
I think Hisam would have been gone anyway. I think Cameron, I'm proud of Cameron. He's slowly going up on my list as one of my favorites. I think he did exactly what he was supposed to do. He understands the assignment here. He even said that Cirie is the president, so he needs to go ahead and get her assassinated if he wants any chance of staying. But I knew, I was like, as soon as I saw him put Izzy and Felicia up, I was like, Felicia can go this week. We'll sacrifice her. She's that auntie that's overstayed her welcome and is getting on everybody's nerves. She keeps touching the thermostat, keeps complaining about all the food and the seasoning and who's not cooking and who's cooking, and sitting in the corner with the ugliest faces. She can go. If it means that Cirie will stay.
Listen, I'm a big thermostat toucher as well, so like I can relate to that. Like, it needs to be cold.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm
she's like freezing in my bedroom at night. Chris said it's like the Exorcist room when he walks past the hallway. Because I go to bed like 5 hours before. He's like, Allison, I walk past the door and it's shut, and I can just feel the cold air. And the minute I open, I got my little window unit on 65, and he opens. He's like, it's like. No, I can't do it. I can't do it.
You know what I hate though? Like in hotels when they have like the thermostat that's like set that like won't go below like 70, and then you have to like Google like how to like bypass like whatever like model it is or whatever, so you can like figure out how to make it cooler. It's such a pain in the butt. Like, let us just like live in cold, chilly peace. But
I don't know what kind of motels you're staying in, but all my thermostats go down, honey.
I don't sleep in motels, so I don't know.
Oh, I know you don't sleep in them.
Oh God. Anyway, let's talk about America and Corey for a second, because I feel like their position has really increased this week. And like this was like best case scenario for Cameron to win HOH and to be the first one to like make a move against the people that are like in charge of everything. This is like exactly what Corey and America needed to do. So they're getting like all the benefit with like none of the responsibility or like blood on their hands or anything. So just want to give them a little shout out. They're so cute. I'm a big fan of Americori. So I'm happy.
Jared seems like he's obsessed with them in a bad way right now, though.
Jared's just jealous. Is what I chalk it up to. He's jealous that like he has this like big secret with like Cirie, and like Blue knows it, but like it's kind of like something that she can like hang over his like shoulders or whatever. Like Corey and America are much more an alliance of showmans of equals. And also like Jared doesn't really talk strategy to Blue either. It's very much so like talking down to her and like kind of treating her like shit, where like America and Corey, they really come together to say like, all right, this is what we need to accomplish today. We can do it separately, but like we need to be on the same page about everything, and then reconvene at the end of the night for a cuddle session.
Yeah.
You know, something that's kind of been bugging me.
Oh boy.
Oh, go fig. You know, just another day that ends in Y. So I'm watching I love Fridays. Fridays are my favorite feed day because that's when everybody's going into the HOH room. Okay. I mean, it is just a revolving door. It's great. I love it. I feel like we got a shit edit of Cameron and Jag's conversation. I don't know if you guys actually saw that conversation.
Yes.
It gave me, I had tightness in my chest from that conversation. Jag sitting there talking to Cameron. Cameron ain't saying shit. There's an awkward silence. He's got his sunglasses on as Jag is talking to him. And then all of a sudden, Jag goes, "Are you finished?"
It was so iconic.
And he's like, "Are you done?" He's like, "You're a liar. I don't believe anything that comes out of your mouth. You know, if I get, I want to work with you, but if a breath that this conversation has come out of this room, I will put you up on the block." He's like, "Well, how am I supposed to hide what we've been talking about?" "I don't care. Use that little puppy dog face of yours." Okay, I was like, "Dude, this is terrible."
Cameron went to mafioso real quick in that conversation.
Yeah, he did. He did. It was
0 to 100.
I'm not shocked that Cameron was talking to him like that because, Cameron. But bless Jag's heart, this guy has done nothing. He's literally, I don't think he's done anything bad to anybody. Thank you, Cassie Lee, for the super sticker.
Yes, thank you so much.
Like, why is this poor man getting shit on left and right?
And he's just like kind of like the scapegoat, like especially now that he's been like evicted and came back. Like I feel like you always have that like stench of evicted on you, if that makes any sense. So like it's easy to like make him like the scapegoat for like any kind of like shit that's like going wrong in the house. I don't know, like Jack's position, I really don't think he stands like any kind of chance of winning this game. Like yes, is he like on the rise a little bit after this week? Sure, but like I think that's all relative to like how badly he was positioned like before that. Like him like leveling up one level is still like 10 levels behind like everybody else in my opinion.
But Tyler, honestly, unless you're Bowie, we can't count anybody out. We really can't. I mean, I get, even at the end of Thursday's show, I was like, I can buy into it. Cameron's going to nominate Blue and Jag. But seriously, the fact that he kept it, he did what I have been saying for 23 years. Okay? If you've got a plan, stick to it and don't say shit. I don't care if you got a mouth full of it. You don't say shit. You keep it to yourself. You just leave it alone. Do what you want to do for your game. Now, there's a lot of people out there going, like even my little grandson Cloud said, he didn't really think, I don't know what he thought. I mean, Cameron, are we thinking about, we got from point A to point B to C, but how are we going to get to D, E, F, G? after this week, because the only person that Cameron has got is pretty much Bowie. He and Jared have got this bullshit fake bromance going on right now that I'm not buying for a second. Not one second do I believe these two are going anywhere together.
It's so weird because they're both misogynists.
I mean, you would think it would be.
Which also throw Matt in there.
You know how magnets, when you try to put the plus side and the negative side together, just like this, that's them.
Yeah,
the same side of the magnet. It won't go like it's.
Jackie, that's like science right there. That was beautiful.
Isn't that when you do this?
And you're
it
like,
won't touch what they're saying. But also Cameron had a really good conversation after Jag with America, and I think America and Corey. So he's got a couple numbers here. I feel like Cameron, he was not worst case scenario. Like I said, Jared was absolute worst case scenario. Cameron has shaken this game up. He shook the table through it. I think he'll be okay after this. What's that? 3 numbers? He'll be okay.
It would be really interesting to see like what America would do with HOH like after this week is over. Because like you're right, Jackie, like America and Cameron are kind of coming together in this weird like it's weird because like of course they have all this like tension from like him being a creeper to her, but like they are like them partnering up in a game sense would be so beneficial for the both of them. And I'm glad that like America is like a big enough fan of the show to realize that like maybe it is like for the best to like play with him at least for a little bit. Like we can like Cameron's like not like getting close to the end of this game. Like don't worry, unless he wins out, which is very possible. But like I'm glad to see like America thinking like I don't have a lot of allies. I don't have a lot of choices. I know that Cirie's running this house. It's certainly something that Cameron is aligned on as well. So let's open this game up a little bit.
Yeah.
I could absolutely also see, I think somebody that nobody is talking about because she doesn't exist on the feeds is Mimi. And I really think that because Felicia's clearly her number one, if Felicia leaves, I think she will find herself being more aligned with Cirie and Izzy. But I could see her jump ship too. And like, this is someone who works in politics in Washington, D.C. I think she's going to make up whatever the best position is for her. I see her being exactly the kind of player right now where she's in the background. And I could see her start really winning comps after about 2 or 3 jury members are in there. Like, I don't think people are going to put her up unless she's a pawn, because the only people who were talking about putting her up are no longer in the house or they're Cirie.
Yeah. I think I said on Thursday that like, I think I said on Thursday, if Cameron were to go through with nominating like Izzy and Felicia and one of them goes, that's like really beneficial for Mimi's game, because Cirie's going to be looking for another person to like bring in now that she's like 1 number short. And I think like the first person she would go to is Mimi, because like she's not going to go to America and Corey, certainly not Cameron. She kind of already has like Matt in her back pocket, but like not Jag.
I could see her go for Jag if she felt like in the right. She wouldn't immediately go for Jag, but I could see her go to Jag on like a Tuesday or a Wednesday, make a deal kind of thing. So I could see her doing that. I think Cirie's figuring out the timing of this game. The past like week or so, you've really seen her start to say things, from what I understand, of like, all right, well, we got to talk about this in like 2 days. And so, help the house now, because Cirie, when she figures out the timing of this game, will be absolutely unstoppable.
So I guess like what's next for? Sorry, Allison.
No, go ahead.
So I guess like Beth, like what is next for Cirie? Like now that Felicia's gone, like what? And I would love to hear like Allison and Jackie's thoughts on this too, of course. But like, where does Cirie go now that like we're probably losing Felicia this week?
I think Cirie's been planting the seeds so that we could lose Felicia this week. Last week she kept throwing Felicia under the bus, and she was doing it before nominations. I think that she now knows So when you have someone like Cirie who's playing 3 steps ahead of everybody, she knows how to set traps in order to figure out what the direction of the house is going to go. And so that's exactly what she was doing. Let me throw in some things to see if people would go for Felicia. Okay, that worked. So that means the house was anti-Felicia, which means they might be anti-Mimi. I'm not sure, or they might not like, she can figure out those kind of pieces of the puzzle, right? So her next step will really be first of all, it depends on who wins HOH, because if you get someone like a Jag or a Mimi or somebody who seems somewhat unattached, that becomes the person who's in her pocket based off of winning HOH alone. I could see her wanting to get Blue out of the house. I could see her because that's a number for Jared, but Jared's also being a little defiant, so got to put him back in place kind of thing. I could see her going after America and Corey, put the showmance back up there, and then Cameron as a backdoor kind of thing, and just seeing who would do that. I think if Matt wins HOH, it's Cirie's HOH, essentially. And so I think what she's really got to do is just based on who is winning this next HOH, and also now that you've figured out like what the temperature of the house is, make those decisions accordingly, and then plan the next 3 steps ahead.
Jackie, what do you think?
I like that. I feel like, just to kind of piggyback on something that you said, Beth, I feel like Felicia kind of handed her the ammunition to help her kind of, okay, let me separate myself from Felicia. But I don't see Cirie gravitating to anyone else. I know that we just kind of speculated that maybe Mimi takes Felicia's spot, but I feel like Cirie hasn't put in enough work with Mimi. Mimi is playing this game extremely under the radar. I don't personally know who Mimi is really like talking a lot of game with. She speaks game with people when she needs to, if that makes sense, to kind of like, I guess she's playing the game that we want Cirie to play. We want Cirie to kind of suss out the house a little bit better. And I think Mimi has a much better concept of who's where the pairs are. Yeah, she's in the brown sugar babies, but I don't think Mimi really is taking that very seriously. And I feel like Cirie at this point is going to try and keep whomever knows information about her and Jared as close as possible, or it's going to be 50-50. Either keep them close under her wing, or they got to go immediately. So I hate to say that if Cirie is willing to sabotage Felicia, she might even be willing to sabotage Izzy, because Izzy knows about the relationship. And I stand corrected. I was certain that Felicia knew about Jared and Cirie until I saw that Felicia sat down next to Jared and say, "Hey, I have a number 1. I have a final 2 with Cirie, but let's get her out." I was certain that Felicia knew, but I think at this point, Cirie is going to be trying to target anyone who knows information, because again, information is it's king in this game. And Cameron is showing whatever information you have, if you don't tell it, you can sell it. And Cirie has a bunch of information. She keeps getting information, and I think Cameron did the perfect thing of cutting off Cirie's information source. And I think if Cameron and America and Corey can just start to limit what information she gets, then she can be, disconnected enough for someone to make a move. I'm so glad Jared didn't use the power of veto, because Cirie goes up, she goes home, back door completely. But at this point, Cirie has to keep herself off the block and keep trying to shift focus on people who know too much. So that would be Jag, who knows too much. Izzy, who knows too much. Blue, who knows too much. They gotta go.
Blue knows too much, but does she know too much?
Yeah, I'm done with
She
her.
knows too much, but she does shit with it.
Shit
she
with
does
it.
Absolutely nothing, and it's so frustrating. Like,
She's a
Blue,
shit player. She's not doing shit.
She's here for the influence.
She's here for the meow meow bullshit. Purr. And she purr. And she's sitting there with Jared, and she's talking shit, mad shit about her best friend Jag. What is that about? Like,
I'm going to be honest, as a brand strategist, she's not showing a lot of strategy, and I think this is going to be detrimental for her career.
What did she place? Like, who was the last minute person that got jerked the fuck out so she could walk in? Who? I need to know. I need
It's
to
probably
know.
Christy.
Probably Christy again.
Do you
That's always-
think
she got
Christy
COVID again.
Christy went in there and went, kitty, kitty, purr, purr. And they were like, it doesn't have the same ring to it as when Blue does it.
She did wear a leopard print, like a tracksuit or whatever, right? Like, didn't she?
Wait,
So
don't put the
maybe there's
pie in
that
my
connection.
face. I only have these eyelashes. Let me get my shake. Bitch, I in your face.
You only
In
brought
your
one pair of
face.
lashes for 100 days, miss?
Really? That's it. That sounds like a personal problem.
Also, those lashes were stacked. That was more than one pair of lashes.
Was it?
Yes.
Were they regular lashes or were they the magnetic lashes?
They were probably regular lashes, but they clearly took a couple of the things and stacked them on top of each other like
Dude,
that.
she took those off quick. I took some fake lashes off years ago and I thought I was going to take my eyelid off. And I'm like, how? Maybe I just used too much glue.
And then your eyelid got stuck up here when you glued it, and you was like, "Oh no,
Yeah.
I can't blink!"
I really like Tammy Faye Baker.
The shit women have to go through. All right, we have a question from Joseph Boza. He said, "Can we get your thoughts on the jury twist? Do we think there's a jury that starts this week?" Terrence said it will be the dumbest move in BB history if we have a final three. So that's kind of like the rumblings right now, is that like maybe this jury twist is Big Brother's first like final three. What do we think?
I don't think it's. I'll just be fair. Look, I don't think it's a waste. I don't think. When they do Survivor, they only vote for two people, and only one person wins. So what does it matter if there's three there or two?
Why have 100 days in the house if the last thing that's going to determine the final three is the final four veto? I don't know. Like, I just feel like we normally get like a whole week left of like competition.
Yeah.
For part 1, 2, 3, and is that going to change the week? I guess I don't know.
I know that's my thing.
You're acting like Big Brother has thought this out ahead.
Right.
Well, that's also why the rumor to a certain extent. I'm like, yeah, they might make a decision for this week that could affect the future. But
I don't think it's going to be a big announcement or anything. I think it's going to be stupid, and we're going to be like, oh, okay, whatever. Really, Julie? Come the fuck on. Like, we don't care.
Could it please be all of a sudden Julie plays, "Let's get ready for a takeover," and then like Jeff Probst comes out and goes, "Wow, we're going to have a final three and also fire making instead of a final four veto."
Well, with the Survivor connections, like in the house and like it being like multiverse themed, I could actually see them like tying it in that way and being serious about it, Beth.
I can't remember who posted this, but they said something along the lines of, what if the 18th house guest was supposed to be Mike White, so it could have been red, white, and blue?
That's funny.
That's a no from me, dog. And then America like leads the alliance.
Yeah, exactly.
How many jurors will that be though? If they have final three.
Well, when there's three, like it doesn't really it doesn't have to be like even or odd, because there can always be some kind of combination of like a tie. If that makes any sense. Like if there's 8, it could be like 3-3-2.
My biggest thing will be, now they've got 3 keys in that bag. They got to figure out which one. Oh, say it. I got 3 in here, okay?
And then Julie's going, "We're on live television. Please hurry up. Have your key ready before you go up, but don't show the camera."
Julie, if you have a quicker fucking way to get these keys out of this bag, Jesus Christ, come over here and do it.
She's like, house guests, just make sure you have the Cirie key in your hand when you go up to cast your vote for the winner.
Wait, okay, if we're going to do this as a new thing, can we please have Julie seated and they all vote by a pie, and just like with the keys this week, and they have to go up to Julie and like each pie is a different flavor, and it's just like, okay, the chocolate pie goes to, I don't know, like Bowie. It's like the raspberry pie goes to, that'd be great.
Listen, I kind of wish Julie Chen got pied this week. Like that's what I need on my TV screen. Because remember the ALS water ice bucket challenge thing.
Yeah.
She had to do the like.
And she did that live on air. I'm like, we need that Julie Chen back. That's like not afraid to like malfunction a little bit live on air.
I'm sure she's been cream pied.
Oh. Beth is out of here. I was just about to ask Jackie what she thinks about this twist, but
do I have the fart app out? Am I doing the fart app?
No.
Okay.
Jackie, what do you think about this?
Sorry, I had to go vomit.
Yeah.
So I'm still you know, at BB new. So I just think maybe I don't want to say that there's a battle back between the next people who are evicted, maybe just like the next two, like Felicia, and because we know Felicia's leaving, Felicia and someone else might have like a 2-person battle back. That's all my speculation is. Honestly, I don't think there should be a jury twist. I think it should just be jury announced and we keep going on with the season. No more twists. We got enough.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be a braid.
Just a twist. It's a fish braid at this point. We're just adding things.
Fishtail, little more.
Fishtail. There's too many things going on. We have one twist throughout the entire season, which is requiring us to keep looking at Jared. So I think we're good on twists.
I know Allison's dying to talk about this, so we have to give this to her. Allison, what are your thoughts on the Stinko meter, and how often do 10s hit your household?
Oh, every morning around 9:30 Central. I had a gas mask, y'all. Chris had, don't ask me why, but Chris has like a real military grade gas mask. And I was going to get it and have it on for the show. And I totally freaking forgot about it.
Is it because his farts are just that bad?
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you right now, I thought that I thought it was the Stinko meter thing. I really thought it was stupid. Shocker. It was shocker. But I mean, like, I go in the bathroom and if I'd gone in the bathroom and peed and been in and out in less than 30 seconds, and you tell me it was a Stinko meter of 10, I would probably get in a fight with the announcer dude.
If I were one of the producers, I would 100% make yours, Allison, be the 10.
Oh, I bet mine would be the 10 every time because they would hate me.
Absolutely.
Okay. Me. This happened to me today on the subway. I was sitting there.
Oh boy.
I was sitting on the seat, and it was one of the trains where like people stand in the middle. And when I tell you this man farted in my face and then did one of these things. So he had his ass to me. Okay. So he's standing and he's like this. This is me. His back is to me and he farts. And then he did one of these.
Oh no.
Was he?
I was like, I can still smell it. And you're wafting it my direction because you're moving.
Did something come out with it?
Oh, it smelled awful, man. I'm sitting there and I was like,
I'll tell you what, man. Crop
so
dusting
Stinko meter
is
10.
Yeah, it's a Stinko meter. No, it's a crop dusto meter. That's what you really need, because some people. It would be funny if someone was walking across the house and all of a sudden they said, "Oh, we got a crop duster. It was Matt," and you have to wear the stupid mask. But crop dusting is the worst. I have been in so many places. I don't know if it's just down here in the South. I don't know what it is, but I have been standing in an aisle in Target and Walmart, and somebody
your height doesn't help either.
Well, I'm 4'11". I tell you what,
yeah, you come up to most people's asses. So
I'm 4'11". I got 2 straight. I'm come up to the asshole and the armpit. So I tell you, if you're stinking out of both ends, okay, look, I don't know if it's your butthole or your pits, but you need to get some Lumi because you can use that on everything.
Big brother, please cast Allison. I need this on my feeds.
I know, right? Like Allison would have been a way better. Thank you for that. I was just about to say Allison would make a way better addition than Bowie Jane this season, but
I should have been Bowie Jane.
You should have.
You could have
It's
been
it's
fucking
Lumi,
Allison
Lune.
Kelly.
Yeah.
Wait, that would have been fact.
I would have lost my mind had they told me, "Oh, well, we were planning you as a spy." Do I look like Tom fucking Cruise? I'm not coming out of the sky doing this and getting information. What are you talking about?
I look like
You guys are like the
No.
same height.
I mean,
Isn't
we're the
Tom
same
Cruise, like, very
size.
short?
But give me a
Yeah.
break.
Oh my
Busted,
god.
busted, busted bitches. That's right.
busted bitches.
Busted bitches. You know why busted bitches? That's Felicia. She can't stop.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, I loved
Still cannot
that.
get over the cupcake thing. I'm still not over it.
I loved the singing in her sleep segment.
Oh,
Like that was
Actually seeing it, I was like, oh my god, like my grandma used to do that kind of shit.
Oh my goodness, so funny.
I can't. I hope that's me.
That's gonna be bad.
That's gonna be me someday.
You know what Chris does in his sleep? He just yells. Ah,
That's so problematic.
one time he did that and he leaned up and he did this. Boom! And like he hit me in the back in the middle of the night. And this was like 17 years ago. And I was like, what the and he was like, I'm like, what? But no, he does. Like, there are a lot of older people. Like, my mom, she's going to kill me for this. My mom will snore when she's awake. Like, she'd just be sitting there in the car looking at her phone, and I hear, and I'm like, are you okay over there? Do I need to?
So she's got wake apnea and is
Wake apnea. She's got June apnea.
wait, woke apnea.
She's got woke apnea. And there's nothing wrong with her either. Dude, I've been in a movie sitting next to
an
my
SNL
mom.
sketch in the
And she's been
making.
sitting there
Yeah.
going,
No, but you gotta
like,
do
what the fuck, mom?
you gotta do the snore with like a social justice quip at the same time, right? Like
Yeah.
trans women are women.
Yeah.
Woke apnea.
Woke apnea.
I love it.
No, but it's funny because I've seen a lot of older people just yell. You just hear them in the there you go. Cloud the other night in his sleep, he did this. He went. I was like, what are you napping about?
That's so funny.
Ice cream.
I'm so excited about woke apnea.
Woke apnea. Hashtag woke apnea.
Woke apnea, yes.
Do we have any other Big Brother thoughts for tonight?
Nelda says, please tell Blue to take off the roller in her bangs. Yeah, they're like to the point now that they're too long for it. Like they're curled under, but then they stick to the forehead. Like it's not doing what.
Can you imagine
need
if
to
she's
cut
there
'em.
like all 100 days, like how long those bangs will be by the end of the season?
I think she's a lot prettier with her bangs out of her face. But then again,
She's beautiful.
I'm not happy with her right now.
Yeah.
Not happy.
I want to update our draft here because Jackie looks like either way you're losing your first person.
I am, and and I would gladly lose Felicia in exchange for keeping Cirie. I would have lost Jared too in exchange for keeping Cirie. You know, I'll lose Izzy too in exchange for keeping Cirie. Felicia, unfortunately, she's just. I feel like she has overstayed her welcome. It happens. I've had family members who have come to visit me and overstayed their welcome exactly the way Felicia is doing. So, as long as it's her.
We got an HOH from her. We got the
Yes.
her dropping the microphones in the pool segment. We got her sleep singing. Like, I think we're good with Felicia, right? Like, we're. I think this is an okay time for her to.
Did anyone catch Corey lip syncing to her singing in her sleep?
Yeah. I saw that clip on Twitter.
That
It
would
was
have been
amazing.
that would have been
It was,
me.
like,
I would have
operatic.
been doing it. Yeah.
Yeah. It was great.
And Mimi's head popping up. She just goes.
She was mad. That was the mad face. Like,
Get
what
that.
the hell? That was great.
So, yeah, so we'll see what happens on Thursday. Gosh, I feel like I say this every week, but like this HOH is so important, and I hope to God that it's not Jared. Like I had like a nightmare scenario that popped in my head last night. I was like, what if for the rest of the season, Jared and Cameron are just like alternating like HOH wins, and that's very possible given like how physical these comps have been these last few
Corey
seasons.
and America are about to really turn it on now that they actually
I hope
understand
so.
what's going on.
Yeah, I hope so. I
And
really hope so.
Are we sure Felicia is going this week? Some people
No,
asking
I
in the
mean,
chat.
right now that's likely the case, but I mean, it's
This is the season of
Monday.
flipping and flopping all week
I mean,
long, so.
I honestly think Cirie is going to make people on Thursday go against Izzy and get Izzy out of the house, but she's going to do. I think if she can get enough votes, I think she's still going to vote to keep Izzy as like a I voted for you, I have no idea, or like what happened there kind of thing, so that she doesn't expose a secret, but then gets her out of the house.
Yeah.
I can see that.
I'm crossing my fingers and praying to every deity that Felicia Washington goes, but I agree with you, Beth. Yeah, it may be one of those situations where Cirie is kind of like helping to influence. Again, Cirie's influence. She helps influence to get the person out who knows the most information. Now would be a good opportunity to take out Izzy because she knows that Jared and Cirie are mother and son. So
Yeah, but if she's going to jury, she's going to have a lot of time on her hands with people. You think she's not going to say anything? Do y'all really think she won't say anything in that jury house?
I think she will.
After a couple of margaritas and there ain't no cameras around and we all hanging out by the pool.
I don't think the secret will be exposed by Cirie. For sure, Jared. So I'm not saying that no one will ever find out. I think Cirie is better at playing poker and keeping her cards held to her chest. But Jared would definitely been like, as he's called her, his mother.
Jared would push all in on like, Jack 10 offsuit. And he's like, I don't know, I could get it straight. So
my mom said the third son was John. I'm John. My name is Jared. Like he would do something stupid.
Why does he keep saying I love you to his girlfriend, Kenzie?
Because he feels bad.
Because
he's cheating on her now.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out on a limb and just say it's probably his ex. And everything that you ever had at her house has been lit on fire.
Well, except for your dog, hopefully.
Yeah, not the dog.
But everything else.
We need to
also, you're not seeing that dog again.
Never.
No, you've lost custody of that dog, Jared. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I would imagine. Never mind. I'm not going to finish that.
Okay, let's go around. People want to know, who do we want to win HOH next week? I'm going to I put Cameron in a universe, and guess what? He won. So I'm going to put Bowie Jane out there. I want a Bowie Jane HOH. Give it to me.
Listen, that would be iconic, honestly.
I think it'd be amazing.
It'd be great TV.
I would love to see Corey win HOH next.
Okay.
It's time. And it's time to make Jared squirm in that HOH scenario, right? Like, I would love for Corey to, like, Jared thinks that, like, he is so superior to Corey in every single way. And this, like, very weird kind of, like, young alpha male, like, dick measuring contest. And Corey is just, like, so not about it. So I would just love to.
What's the age difference?
Corey's 21. I'm not sure how old Jared is, but
Jared's 25.
So I would just love to see Corey win HOH and really just knock Jared down a few pegs and say, like, listen, like, we were supposed to be working together, but, like, I just cannot trust you for anything. And you, like, always just kind of, like, mess up my game, like, mess up my position. And, like, I feel like I've done nothing wrong to you. So I would just love to see that happen. So Corey for HOH.
Are Jared and Corey really a thing, though, off to the side?
That, like, it's
they want to work together.
Are they a side piece alliance?
Yeah, but then, like, Jared thinks that, like, Jared feels so betrayed that, like, Corey, like, tells America everything, which, like that's what's gonna happen in, like, a showman's, and he's, like, jealous of that. And
just because you're not telling your girl nothing, Jared.
It's just this weird, like, jealous, like, dynamic, and, like, they're just the, like, masculine energy from Jared is just, like, he doesn't know what to do with it, and it just comes off very, like, I don't know, like pecking order type of, like.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I need to be the alpha like young guy around here. I don't know. It's not my favorite.
Do you think Cameron has set a precedence for the remainder of the season that people will keep who they really want to nominate close to the vest and maybe not
I would love
reveal
that.
it?
If that's the new culture
I
for the
really
house,
feel
like, I
like
would
that
love
should
that.
be that's how it used to be. You weren't allowed to tell who you were freaking putting up back in the damn day and who you were voting for before that. You couldn't. You're not supposed to say who you voted for,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I agree.
Jackie, who do you want to win HOH?
So I was thinking what quarter turn put. I was thinking America because America winning is Corey winning. But hear me out. I'm ready to see this person show their cards, see who not who they're working with, but what they're working with. And I feel like after a Cameron HOH, it's gonna be another like palate cleanser. I want to see Mimi.
I think Mimi would be so interesting.
What would Mimi do with that HOH though?
We don't know. I don't know.
I
really
think
am not sure.
I think it's best for her personal game to not win HOH.
Yeah.
But ever
like Taylor, just never, just one, maybe one throughout the entire season.
one time win veto.
Dr. Will never won any comps. Just saying.
I think what would shake up the house the most would be a Corey or an America HOH, which is basically the same thing. I think Matt would do whatever Cirie wants. Jared, I pray, would just be so annoying again. Blue, I think, could be a wild card as an HOH. I think Blue would be very interesting. I'm not asking for that. I'm just saying I think that could be interesting. I feel like Jag would end up just being a disappointment. Like I feel like he would be like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to do this big move," and then be like, "Well, I actually have to have allies, so next week I'm just, I think that he would cop out of a big move. But so I definitely want to say America. Like I think her name has been around more as a threat, and so she should start backing that threat up with some wins. And then if you're HOH, you can get people on your side and use that power, especially in the beginning of the week.
Yeah, I don't know, we'll see. But I just want to end the show by giving myself props because it does look like Felicia is going this week, and I predicted that at the end of Thursday's show, like when we all went around and said who we think is going home. I said Felicia, so props to me. A broken
props to your mama.
Hey, bring up the draft again. Can you bring it up one more time?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I just want to say that the four of us are the only ones that still have the first pick.
Oh yeah.
Have you noticed that?
That's interesting. Yeah.
Can you believe our patrons chose red over Cirie?
I mean, what would
you believe Allison picked Cameron third in the draft?
That was her first round draft pick. Go ahead. Yes.
We were like, huh?
I feel like if the four of us can make it I'm just throwing this out into the universe and we don't have to do it, but it might be fun. We could have our own multiverse, Humillaverse, Scaryverse, comic verse, and shake things up a little bit. If the four of us still have our number ones on the board here in a week or so, maybe we could gamble and maybe switch things out. I'll trade you so-and-so for such maybe we could trade.
I'm not giving up Mimi for shit. I'm sorry.
Ain't nobody gonna take Jared. I'm stuck.
Allison will.
You know what?
Jackie,
nobody wants any of my three. I've got three people nobody will take.
I love my team. I'm not changing it.
Listen, I'm willing to sell Jag for a very reasonable price.
Will you sell Jag for Blue?
Sell or trade?
I mean trade. I'm sorry, that was terrible.
Will I?
Best team does.
I would consider it, honestly. I would consider it.
Okay. We'll see. Because I know Tyler's wound up every week pretty tight. I mean, you're so tight right now, dogs can only hear you fart because I know you are so afraid you're going to lose Jag. Like, it's coming.
I just want to make it to jury. My fall from grace cannot be understated enough.
That's what Bowie wants, just to make it to jury.
All 4 of my draft people last year made it to final 5, and here I am with my only person left has already been evicted once unanimously this season. Yeah. 10-0, and he is hanging on by a thread, and I have no fear whatsoever.
Let's just address all 3 of them. You got that guy, Jag. You've got Luke, who got expelled for saying the N-word, and then you got Riley, who was out week 2.
Yeah,
this is the polar opposite of last year.
Yeah, I blame Luke. This is all his fault.
He Luke just Valentine. Started a chain of events.
Did you guys remember when Tyler said he thought me and Luke were like, this is who I would be if I were not?
I was Luke.
No, that was
I can safely say I would not go on national television and
that was incorrect.
Remember when he was like, honestly, I feel like we look like each other. I think he's a himbo and
it's the dimbo. It's the dimbo. It's the dimples. It's the being an artist for a living.
I have a shirt like that.
I do have a shirt like that
because I bitched about his shirt.
It's so good, and then he ended up being the worst person ever.
Well, and his wife and me, we both thought he looked like Jeffrey Dahmer. So
yeah,
he served a little bit.
Like Danny freaking Masterson, who's doing 30 in prison for rape. It's terrible.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Ben, your team really good.
Yeah,
really strong.
That's
which means they're gonna go out 6-5-4. So don't worry about it, guys.
It's possible,
dude.
It's definitely possible.
If my team makes it to final 3,
could you fucking imagine a blue fucking Bowie Jane and Cameron?
I will be doing the finale by myself.
Oh my god!
I will be alone on finale. Well, I'm here. I don't know how.
Oh man!
Because nobody's gonna want to hear it.
I would have to support Cameron for the winner if he makes it that far and that's the final 3. I think he deserves the win, considering the target level he's had, deservedly so, on his back. But at least he's playing unlike Bowie Jane and Blue.
You know what's funny is we were talking. I forgot the Thursday night, and I forgot to. It's just fun when Cameron won. Later, I was like, okay, whatever. That's how I feel every year when I win Survivor Draft. It's oh fuck, Allison won again.
That is the accurate facts.
Who won last year?
Yam Yam.
Oh yeah, that's right. And then the year before that. That's right.
Are you trying to be smart ass?
You're right. You're on a Survivor streak. Can't wait to see who you pick.
I've been looking at the new ones, and man, I don't have a clue.
I have not looked because I'm so unenthused by the start of Survivor coming up. I need.
You are every season. It's so funny. You'll be like, I don't know what it is. I think it's this cast. I'm just not interested. And then 2 weeks in, you're like,
it's all the same.
The best season.
No, this, guys, Planet Survivor is just so cookie cutter.
Buckle up, you got 90-minute episodes.
Everybody is such a glorious human being. There's no such thing as a proper villain in Survivor anymore. And
yeah, you're right.
It's just so
it's true.
I have an idea. We could do a Bass Ackwards draft for Survivor and like pick the people we think are going to lose and explain why and see if any of them win.
The losers draft.
Yeah, let's do a losers draft.
So does that mean whoever's the first boot will automatically win the entire draft?
Yeah, and we're done. We're finished. We don't have to pull it up
anymore. Wait, let's actually do both.
Tyler doesn't have to do the extra work.
So no. I think we should do both. I think we should do the snake the way that we're used to doing, right? The snake draft normally, but we have to be strategic about who our last picks are because we think they're actually going to be first boot. And if you have the first boot on your team, you win. If you have the winner on your team, you're actually second place.
I like that.
Just saying.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I'll find some motivation for Survivor somewhere. I always do.
Well, you always do about the second episode. This is the lifestyle cycle of Tyler watching and getting prepared for Survivor.
I'm a very repetitive person.
Yeah, and that's why we love you. And I'm repetitive too. You and I were repetitive in the same way for opposite things. I watched 2 weeks of Big Brother and go, I don't want to watch this anymore. This is tiring. And then you go before Survivor. I really don't like Modern Survivor, and it's just like the cast is just like, oh my gosh, I'm not really excited. I don't know what it is. And then like at the end of the first episode, you go, it was okay. I'm happy that we got some background, like more so than usual. It's been really nice. Like even like this was better than last season, and I think they really took. And then second episode, you're like, you know what I loved about this? Like, okay, let's be honest, it's a little too much with what's going on with like all the different
trinkets.
Chip
Wheel Island.
But guess what? I will say, even with that aside, I have a better sense of who these people are, and I'm really appreciating it. And then episode 3, this was the best episode so far.
You gotta put the glasses on for that. You gotta go, guys. I don't know. This episode just changed the whole trajectory of the game for me, because we really got a lot of gameplay, and we got to see a lot of gameplay in every situation. Like I got my diagram out. Edgic.
But here's the thing. Episode 4 always is okay. I'm starting to not be enthused by this anymore. Like it's like a little too much. I'm kind of getting lost in the cars.
3 tribes are not working.
Too much. Yeah, exactly. 5th episode. I kind of like the twist. And then throughout the episode, I start talking, and you go, you know what? I know I do like this twist. I'll admit it. I'll admit it. I like the twist.
And then we start getting close-ups of, it's getting the best of me. That's when that starts up about around the 4th week.
This season's good.
That is me. That is my relationship with Modern Survivor. Like, it just like, it's so... I feel like AI could like write a Modern Survivor season, and it would be exactly like what we just saw in Survivor 44, 43, 42, 41.
Hello, it's called my TikTok I made about Modern Survivor tribals. Be like, Beth, tell me what it's like to be a guacamole aficionado in the game of Survivor. Where are we in this game? Well, Jeff, it's like when you go to the store and you pick up avocados and they're not quite ripe enough, and you're like, oh no, do I have to massage them? What do I have to do with them to make sure they're ripe so I can make guacamole tonight? But unfortunately, they're not ripe, and I don't really know what to do in this situation. Fascinating. Like, wow.
I love it. I'm looking forward to Jeff's face. Like, what if we tweaked since last season? If we done a brow lift, or where are we with the nose and the filler in the cheek? Where are we, Jeff? The hair, like the COVID hair. Who doesn't love post-COVID Jeff's hair? He's just letting it grow.
I also am just like coming off the heels of like how fucking good Australian Survivor was this year, and like
so good.
This is what it could be. But this is what
I like how you said off the tails of it. Like, you know that our Survivor ended after Heroes versus Villains, right?
Well, yes, but that's how iconic it was, right?
No, it was really good. I agree. I think it's the top season of Survivor, like of all franchises.
Modern Survivor needs somebody like King George. Like,
he's got to up everything. It's like, but I love Australian Survivor. Big Brother Canada is so much better. I mean, I can't.
America can't have good things.
Not these days.
Yeah, I mean, I was watching the Israeli Survivor, and it was so good. I mean, these people. I mean, I'll
tell y'all the betrayal I feel with Big Brother Canada still. It stings so bad because I have been such a huge advocate for Big Brother Canada. So to go from like rooting for it so hard to literally not even watching that shit of a season.
Who won that season?
Ty.
In our draft, who won?
You did. Allison won.
Oh, maybe.
I think Allison had Ty. Because remember, I was like, he's a male Pisces. I don't want him. And then she's like, well, I'm here to choose my star sign. I thought that was what she did.
I'm a Pisces.
Did she say it just like that? I had Ty and Stefan had Claudia. That was the final 2.
Okay.
I thought Allison had.
No, for once I didn't have a winner. I know it's hard to believe, everyone.
Yeah.
But yes.
But I don't want that winner. I don't want that season. I don't want that show. But yeah. All right. Anything else before we peace on out of here?
No.
We're gonna be
No.
so burnt out by the time Survivor starts with Big Brother. Our shows are gonna be so exciting
Well,
every week.
I think honestly, like y'all are gonna see me jump ship so quickly from BB and be like, you know what? Let
I
me
just want
just
to do
all
Survivor.
Survivor stuff, guys. It's fine. I'll just do, like I feel like we're gonna get a few weeks in.
Tyler and I are gonna rotate weeks. No, you take Survivor. I had Survivor last week. It's your turn. It's your turn.
Listen, if Jackie doesn't want to come on with me, I will just run the show myself. I don't care.
There you go.
I'd much rather talk about Survivor than Big Brother. Sorry.
You know, I'm not one to pass up talking about aquadumps.
That's all I care about. I love that every season we have a conversation of how far would Allison make it into the game of Survivor? And you're like, oh, I wouldn't make it past the first challenge. Like we talk about that every single season. I love it.
I'm putting my own torch out. I'm done. If they do pull that shit where they put you on the boat and then make you throw everything off the boat and then make me my ass because I doggy paddle, make me doggy paddle and try to bring supplies to the island. I'm dead. I will doggy paddle and leave everybody behind me. Get on there first. I'm just gonna Jeff. There's no need for everyone to whisper because we all. I'm done. I can't do this.
Oh man.
And they would probably keep me just for that.
I hope so. That'd be great.
No, you're not allowed to do that. And then we end up voting out somebody. I'm like, I gotta stay.
Jeff, no.
Jeff and I freaking beg these bitches every tribal council to vote my ass out. They won't do it. Can you imagine me in the final three? I don't even want to fucking be here. Don't ask me what I've done. I've done nothing.
It's like Adore Delano asking to be voted out of All Stars 2, and then the next week just being like, I'm quitting. Bye. I asked to go.
Bye.
You want to give me $1 million? I'll take it. But I ain't done shit except cry, whine, piss, moan, talk about being constipated, bitching about wiping with leaves. I'm over it. I want to go fuck home. And don't bring me no pizza and beer. I'm an alcoholic, goddammit. I'm sitting here. I want the live ass. I want the crowd. I want to be in LA. I want to be clean. I want the glow up. I want to be sitting there.
Allison, could you imagine? You know how when Jeff turned to Will and went, you know you can't have beer, right, Will? Because you're not 21. And he's like, yeah. Could you imagine if he turned to you, you know you can't have alcohol, right, Allison? Because, you know, you're an alcoholic.
Thanks, Jeff. Yeah.
Gee, thanks.
Not that I'm ashamed, but tell everybody.
Could you imagine if he did
And then
that?
the harp music like starts playing, like the emotional music.
They came to my house and filmed my backstory. There was this one time that I walked through the McDonald's drive-thru, and I'm only 4'11", and they couldn't see me in the drive-thru window, and I got pissed off, and I took my shoe off, and I was beating on the window saying I want a McDouble. Just because I'm not in a car, you can't. That's discrimination because I'm not in a car. I'm in the drive-thru. Here's my money.
Oh, man.
Good
But I
Lord.
also know they would be like asking you for photos of what you looked like when you were like, and you just be like, I remember one time my face was so pudgy from I was so swollen.
I can
And
show
it's
y'all
just
some
a
shit.
series of photos of you with like your rosy.
I would be mortified if that was on national television. I'd be like, they did me so dirty.
You would have had to gift them to them.
Everybody's got a great backstory, sad story edit. And look what they've done to me. They're pulling YouTube clips of me talking about Big Brother OTT with chiplet sheets and a
The
wine
Walking Dead.
bottle in the background. I'm
By the way, those were really good. Thanks.
I'm drinking wine out of a coffee cup, acting like it's coffee.
Jackie, have you watched any more of OGT?
I'm at episode 4, so yes, I like it. I mean, there are moments where I'm like, "What am I watching? What is this? What
You guys
is
should do a
this?"
show like talking about the season together.
Like,
We should go back.
walk
Yeah.
off and just leave it playing. That's what I
Oh
did.
my God.
Because I keep up with a lot of it. But one thing I did like about Big Brother OTT, I know we got to end the show, was I used to get up at, you don't know this about me, Jackie. I used to get up at 4:30 every morning for work. And I would turn
Gross.
on the live feeds. And these people would be wide awake. They would never go to bed. And you would hear the best tea because it's 4:30 in the morning. It's 2:30 in the morning. And I'm talking about every season, but I would hear the best gossip getting ready for work than I would.
That pumps you up better than coffee.
I'm all about it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They had
They'll
some
start
good
talking
ones.
shit and you don't know really what all the drama is, but you get to hear it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You don't have to be involved. It doesn't matter if you know or not because you're not a player in that,
Dude,
that story.
have you ever seen that meme that says, "Screw celebrity gossip. I want to know why the two cashiers at Kohl's ain't talking to each other."
Agreed.
That's how I am.
Agreed.
Ooh, what happened? What's happening?
Wait, time out. Tyler would understand this. When I was at Moynihan train station, I went to like the little Hudson News or whatever it is thing. And the way that these 3 employees were just talking shit about this 4th employee, they're like, and you know what? She always clocks out like way after she was stopped working. And they're like, I know, she's just trying to get money out of it. Well, you know why she needs the money, right? And they're like yelling this across the way. And I'm like, ooh. My train's about to leave, but I gotta know, why does she need the money?
What is going on with her personally?
I've been around couples arguing in Target, and I'm pretending like I need something. Like I'm freaking on the men grooming aisle. Like I don't.
What will work for my beard the best?
Yeah. I need to know what's happening over here. One time I was like, how hairy are my legs that I got to stand here and stare at the razors for 30 minutes? But I got to know what's going on over here with Brenda.
Oh, Brenda.
All
now that
right.
we've
Well,
talked about everything Big Brother.
yeah.
Well, that's the thrill of it. That's why we love Big Brother, is because if you want to get down to the, the twigs and berries of it all, this is being
Why are there
nosy.
multiple twigs?
Multiple twigs, the dingleberry, whatever you want to call it. We are nosy. We want to hear other people talk shit about each other. We are invested.
Yeah.
Like we want to know.
Yeah.
We want to know. And it's great.
Clay just came
I love
home.
it. Is Clay home?
Yep, Clay just got home.
And I also just want to reiterate, my stand card for Cameron is like purely on like a gameplay, entertaining.
Well,
games.
we know that you hate women and you're creepy and
Right, of course, obviously. No, he's still a repugnant human being. Like I just want to make that clear. Like I'm not rooting for him to win personally. But his nominations like really spiced up the game and like really opened up like a lot of new possibilities for how the rest of the season plays out. And we rarely see players play so boldly. And I just want to applaud his just willingness to like go there, just do it. And
I agree.
Oh, dude, he'll be back to creeping in the corner next week with the sunglasses on and his headband with his hair just staring people down. In no time.
With his Richard Simmons hairband.
Back to normal.
At least he's not in the Richard Simmons shorts.
Oh God.
No,
All
he
right.
would. I'm not going to say that.
All right. Well, everybody have a great rest of your night. We'll be back on Thursday to talk about the eviction and hopefully a new HOH comp. We'll see if that happens again. Yes, thank you. 10 on the Stinko meter. All right. Bye, everybody.